live radio, local podcasts, the Frederick Podcast Network at listenfrederick.com.
The Fedora Files.
Hello and welcome to the Fedora Files. I am Gregory Fedora. I'm so glad you're here. This episode is brought to you by Clownpocalypse. If you are scared of clowns and only want to be more afraid of them, check out Clownpocalypse. It is the story of what would happen if the world was taken over by clowns and they begin killing people. People just start turning into clowns, killing other people, and those dead people come back to life as clowns and want to kill more people. So it follows the adventures of some would-be teenagers as they try to escape it and find their parents and save the world from the ever-increasing scariness of clowns. So if you have a fear of clowns, this will only heighten it, but in a fun way. So check it out. Maybe start a reading club as you go through. It's a pretty short read, but it's fun. It's good. It's entertaining. Clownpocalypse, available on Amazon. Go get it. Have your life changed. Maybe for the better, probably not. Anyway, so this episode of the Fedora Files, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I've started writing a story. It's called Ash. And I'm not going to tell you much more than that. We're going to go right into it. I'm going to kind of do a reading of it and add some sound effects, some music, and make it like an entertaining episode. I'm going to give you part one. And if you enjoy part one and want to hear part two, let me know, and we will do part two. So let's get right to it. Here is Ash part one. Go. The streets of the city are hot. The heat is inescapable. Steam from an evening shower slowly rises. Cars honk their horns and people bustle along the sidewalk, oblivious to their surroundings. Just 30 feet above the hustle and bustle below, a woman cowers in the corner praying for her life, her estranged husband standing over her with a knife. "You think you can ruin me, bitch?" the man screams. "I told you keep this up and no one will find you or those goddamn kids. I'll say you left me. I'll report you missing, and you'll stay missing. All of you." The woman cries. "Please, Howard, it wasn't their fault. It was mine. Just let them be." "What, and then I have to take care of those little assholes? I don't think so." The man lifts the knife above his head. A sadistic smile crosses his face. Suddenly, a cloaked figure bursts through the window, sending shards of glass across the room, slicing Howard's face. The cloaked figure's foot slams into the side of Howard, sending him into the wall across the room. The large cloaked figure stands now between the woman and her husband, who's groaning on the floor. "Ugh, who are you?" Howard asks, still on the floor.
"I am your reckoning,"
the cloaked figure responds, almost like a growl.
"Your sins have been weighed. Your judgment is at hand."
Howard throws the knife at the figure. The cloaked figure catches it with his bare hands.
"Sorry, Howard, but no weapon formed against me will prosper."
The figure steps towards Howard, who is on the ground, and he places a finger on Howard's head.
"For dust you are, and to dust you shall return."
Howard screams as the figure's finger burns the flesh on his forehead.
"You have been found guilty of lying, adultery, murder."
"You're a goddamn lunatic," Howard screams.
"And for taking the Lord's name in vain twice now in front of me. And numerous times before that. Prepare for your judgment."
The cloaked figure places his hand on Howard's chest. Immediately, Howard begins to gasp. He can barely breathe as sweat beads up on his forehead, then turns to steam. Howard begins to scream as his skin turns bright red and blisters form all over his body. The agony in his eyes is unmistakable, and suddenly flames begin to consume his flesh. Howard crumples to the ground, and the cloaked figure vanishes into the night. That is part one. So I'm going to keep them short only because, take some time to get these things done. But are you interested in that? Does that pique your interest? Would you like to hear more? If not, that's fine. I won't do part two. But if you want to hear part two, let me know and I will begin working on part two. Eventually, I'd like to bring in other voice actors to take over some of the parts and do it and make it even more of an entertaining little podcast adventure for you all. If that's something you would like to see more of, let me know. If not, next week I'm going to dive into another folklore monster. I don't want to do these little stories too much back to back. I want to split it up. So this is Ash Part 1, and we will maybe do Ash Part 2 if you guys like it. If not, hey, no skin off my back. Doesn't hurt my feelings. But I hope you guys are having a great day, and it's fun to be back in the studio doing some Fedora Files. Please also go check out Counter to Intelligence, which is another podcast that I produce, and it dives into conspiracy theories, and you can find it on Spotify as well as YouTube. And there's also Plague of the Day, where another podcast I also produce, which is solely on YouTube, where we discuss things that bug us from all different parts of the world, Middle East, memes, movies, smoking, whatever bugs us at that moment. We discuss it ad nauseum, and it's kind of fun. There's 3 of us, and we have a good time doing it. So until next time, stay safe and keep searching.
The Fedora Files.
Check out fedoracrt.com today.